GOP presidential candidate Chris Christie is raising funds off his now canceled joint Fox News appearance with rival Vivek Ramaswamy. Voters need more information, not less. That's why I agreed to go one-on-one with Vivek Ramaswamy on Fox News. Christie wrote on X, the platform previously known as Twitter. But Trump allies in the Republican National Committee put an end to it. They're silencing real conversation. And now Trump is even calling on the RNC to cancel debates. Nothing new. Party bosses doing everything possible to keep Trump in power. At the end of the post, Christie asked supporters to be a part of the team that puts an end to Trump today by donating to his campaign. Fox News' Bret Baier said Monday that he planned to debut a new segment during Special Report, loosely titled Candidate's Corner, where he planned to host Christie and Ramaswamy as its first guest. Ramaswamy wrote on X that he had agreed to spar with Christie on the segment the following day. However, the RNC moved to prevent a joint appearance between the candidates. A person familiar with conversations between the RNC and candidates told Politico on Tuesday that the two candidates would be banned from appearing in future RNC debates if they went through with the appearance. Christie wrote on X on Tuesday morning that he and Ramaswamy were threatened with exclusion from the Miami debate and future debates for trying to have a more complete dialogue with each other and the voters, calling the move disappointing. Ramaswamy also expressed outrage, writing that last week's RNC debate was a disgrace, and I'm starting to believe that was by design. Both White House hopefuls signed a pledge, which was obtained by The Hill when declaring their candidacy for the GOP nomination, that states that both candidates acknowledged and accepted that if they participate in any debate that has not been sanctioned by the RNC, I will not be eligible to participate in any further Republican National Committee sanctioned debates. The candidates were slated to appear separately on Tuesday's segment of Special Report, but Baier said it would be postponed to Wednesday due to the news of the House ousting former Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his position Tuesday afternoon. The Hill has reached out to Ramaswamy's campaign for comment. Now listen, whether you like Trump the most, whether you want him to win the primary in every state that's part of it, this is an extremely dangerous tactic that the RNC employed. See, candidates for president, whether they run for the Democratic nomination, the Republican nomination, the Green Party nomination, the Libertarian Party nomination, the Socialist nomination, whatever. These candidates are public figures who should not be barred from either going on any platform, whether it be social media or a different news outlet, and being not allowed to speak to someone else happening to run for president as well in the same primary. There should be, like, I hope after this primary's over, regardless who the winner is, I really hope that we can get some group of people. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with the Republican voters, which I'm not the most confident of their ability to, like, see the bigger picture. But I hope that some group of them can get together and tell the RNC, hey, listen, that rule about you need to only participate in debates that we sanction, you can only speak to other candidates in formats for which we sanction, that's insane. I mean, really, I'm not even trying to be funny here, but that's almost like they're basically saying we own you. Like, yeah, you can go on other people's shows, you can, I guess go for the most part do what you want, but if you appear in a video format or some format that is hosted by an accredited news source with another candidate where you two speak about a range of issues, that's it. You're not going to be in any of our future debates. And I find that extremely dangerous, because whether you like Ramaswamy or Christie, the latter is right. That debate was a disgrace. You had 7 people there, and I honestly couldn't tell you anything new about those people that I didn't know before, or feel as if they actually were given a substantive format for which to vent their ideas or speak about the topics. I mean, remember at one point, Haley and Scott got into an argument about curtains. So it was, and as Ramaswamy calls it, a disgrace. And that's why I said I'm for candidates pretty much doing anything when it comes to speaking about topics. If they want to do debates where it's just them and a moderator and maybe a panel of people, which I guess you call that a town hall, but if they want to do a debate where it's just 2 people, that's fine as well. I mean, look, remember, DeSantis is getting ready to debate Newsom, who isn't even running for president. That's what makes me even more shocked. So you can debate people who aren't running for president, or at least, you know, yet, I should say, because there's like the whole theory that Newsom might try to be like a late entry or something. So you can debate people who aren't running for president, but you can't debate other candidates who want the same job in formats that are more allowing of you to have time and actually speak about the things that you think are important with the person that is competing for the same position. I find that extremely dangerous, and I don't know how any self-respecting group of voters would sit back and say, "Oh, it's okay that they let they prevent, I should say, the candidates from talking to each other in formats that are not these debates." Because remember, these debates only happen once a month, if not even longer. You might like we know we're getting a third debate in November, but that still is an entire month away at this point. We're only 4 days into October, so you have to wait a whole 5-6 weeks just to sit next to several 3, 4, 5, 6 other people and get to speak for maybe 10 minutes or 7 minutes or 12 minutes, some barely double digit number, and hope that moves the needle and like gets more people to understand who you are. That's ridiculous. But so this, like, honestly, what Christie says about this being a move by the Trump supporting RNC, that has a lot of merit because people already know Trump. People already know his positions and what he believes, or, you know, at least they're familiar enough with him to get like a general idea of who he is. A lot of these candidates are people that general regular voters have never heard of before, have no idea who they are, except for maybe Pence. So when they're not able to get formats where they can speak in a long-term manner, that's going to turn people, because a lot of voters who don't know who they are are going to be like, well, I don't know what that guy believes. I don't know what his positions are. And sometimes that's not the fault of the candidate. That's the fault of several other factors. It could be the media not paying attention to this person, reporting as much as they should, or the RNC in this case stopping two candidates from actually sitting down and having an actual substantive back and forth. Because, you know, you could always say, oh, they could just do town halls, but the thing about town halls is that besides a moderator who might maybe ask some questions, maybe there's somebody in the audience that asks questions, you don't really get to see and gauge what are these people's specific positions. You know, one of the best debates from the 2020 Democratic cycle was I think it was the second to last one, or the last one, where it was just Sanders and Biden. And I liked it so much more than the other ones because it was just two people, pretty even amount of time to go back and forth with each other, and you didn't feel like, oh man, we all got to compete. Let me get my 15 minutes today. Let me get my 10 minutes today. So to rob Ramaswamy and Christie of the chance to actually speak not only about what they believe, but also to challenge each other, I just think is a complete missed opportunity. And I think the RNC is screwing over its voters. I really think, you know, Republican voters like really love Trump, but honestly, I feel bad for them in this cycle for two reasons. One is that their front runner is someone who thinks they're too good to even do debates. And then the party that they're supposed to give money to and actively support and do all this stuff is robbing them of chances to see the other damn candidates in substantive ways. So I find the whole thing really sad. And I think whatever you feel about those voters, whatever you feel about these candidates, they deserve better. They should have more formats, not fewer, to express their ideas. And there really shouldn't be any restrictions that aren't, like, you know, for example, there's restrictions on like how much money people can donate to campaigns, but there shouldn't be a restriction on who you can speak to outside of when you're on our debate stage. That's insane. So the RNC probably won't get any consequences for it, which is unfortunate because they are gypping their voters. And they are gypping the candidates. And really, it just reeks of desperation. Like, they want to make sure that Trump wins because they know it's going to be like a fundraising boost, right? So they'll do that by not having the candidates go around as much as they could. And they also know that their debates, because Trump won't go to them, are declining in ratings. So they're worried that if there's other features throughout the months between the debates that allow some of the candidates to get together and just kind of speak to each other, that's going to take away the incentive for people to go and watch their circus. I mean, they're very well substantive, engaging conversations with 7 or 8 people who get to talk for maybe a couple of minutes before the 2 hours is up, and they have to wait another 5 or 6 weeks for the chance to make themselves known.